So, what is it about the world's obsession with goals? Are goals really goals or are they jails? Now, in old style English language, the difference between a goal and a jail, just the letter A, very, very similar. And sometimes I know that goals can feel like that to a whole lot of us. They're good and we know they need to do them, but they can really mess with our heads. So I want to look into not so much whether goals are worthwhile or not worthwhile, but keeping them into some kind of perspective. The thing about goals is that they tend to focus on success. So, did you get to the goal? Yes, you did. You're a hero. You're on national TV. You won a medal and or whatever it is at the Olympics. All great. I think that parties can teach us a lot about life and work. Let's look at how a party gets constructed. First thing you do is you have an idea. Basically, a party is a project. By any other term, it's a project. You have an idea and you think, okay, great. I'm going to have a party for whatever reason. Then you go along and you think, well, I've got to plan something. So you put together your checklist. So you go through, you do your checklist, and you go out and you do your shopping and you prepare your food and whatever you need to do. All great. Then people arrive and you chin chin and you have your drinks and you have a great old time. Party's underway. And at the end, you've got to clean up. That's really no different to any other project plan. It's no different to a career. I want to be a champion cyclist. I'm going to have to do these training sessions. I'm going to have to prepare like this. Here's my race. And then afterwards, I've got to recover. It applies to an IT project. It applies to life itself. The thing about the party is that it's not a thing where you can plan for the peak moment. Now, yes, you'd like the party to have a peak moment, and you would like many peak moments, but you won't necessarily have them. The party could be a complete dud, but you would like some peak moments. But along the way, you're going to also have troughs. You're going to have these in a project, in life, and in a party. See, the thing about the party is that when you go into it, you don't know how this thing's going to look. It could be a flat line along the bottom. It's probably not going to be always skimming along the top, and it's not going to be a midline. It's going to have its waves. And you can't think of a party as being an event which was just the peak moment. It's more than the peak moment. Alan Watts, the famous 1970s English philosopher, likened life to being like a dance. He said, you don't have a dance for the sake of the end. You don't have a dance for the sake of the beginning. You have the dance for the dance. It's the same for a concert or a play or any other activity. You don't go to the concert for the end or for the beginning or for that one note or guitar solo in the middle. You go for the whole process. So you go to the dance for the dance. You go for a walk for the walk. You don't go for a walk for the end point or for the beginning. You go for a walk for the walk. You go for a jog for the jog. It's the same with a party. The party is going to have a life of its own. It's going to have all of this, and your life is going to have all of this. But with goals, we tend to focus on these high points. We know that's a happy point. We know that's a sad point. But then what's the middle point? Should we just say, well, let's flatline it along the middle and everything's going to be cool? Well, no. That would be really boring just to have this flatlined life. Flatline is death. By virtue of just living, you're in a wave. You're in sound waves, light waves, all sorts of vibrations are going on in the world. And they're represented by the activities that we undertake, including our work, including customer service interactions. A customer will hang in there with you for the whole process. Now, although they might have had to wait too long at the beginning or a little bit long at the cashier or you didn't have the exact product or whatever it was, they're going to look at it as the whole activity. What we do is we look back. So you don't judge as you're going through the activity, you judge after this thing's happened. And that's when the judge's mantle comes down. You say, well, okay, that was good or bad or whatever. But you can't go judging while you're in the activity. Doing that's going to drive you crazy because you could be finding yourself here or here as opposed to there or there. That's going to give you false dawn. That's going to give you a real pessimistic outlook on it. Now, one point I really want to stress here is that this wave has got an interesting characteristic when it comes to life. And let's look at it from a party perspective. You are, as an attendee of a party, even whether you organized it or not, you're going to be a participant in that. You're going to be swept up by the wave and you're going to be dragged back down if this thing doesn't work. So you're bobbing along the top of this wave like a cork in a storm. You've got actually very little control over that. However, at the same time, and this is where the cork analogy falls over, you are not only riding the wave, but you're also the wave. So you're both. You're one of the people in this party. You're one of the people contributing to whether it's working or not. You're one of the people contributing to this team. So you're not only being ridden by the wave and somewhat victim to it, but you're also part of the wave and making other people victim to it or successful as a result. So the big takeaway I'd like to leave you with here is that point that you are always the wave and on the wave, whether it's work or life. Also, that you can't judge where you are at a particular point in time because you don't know if that up point's going to be higher or the low point's going to be lower. You just can't have perspective when you're in the middle of something. So when you're in the middle of a project, you've just got to grind away and do the right things. You've got to do the things that you know you need to do. You don't have time to judge. Judgment is really the greatest distraction you can have from doing a great job or having a great life. Let it pan out. You've done your preparation. You've done your planning. You've done all of those things. You had a great idea. Let it pan out. It may not work, but it may. But just thinking about whether you're constantly down here is only going to get in your way. Again, I'm Stephen DiPietro, and thanks for tuning in.